I literally have the sharts right now. The sharts? I'm sharding. I'm Hello. Hi, welcome back to Human to Human. My name is Jess. And this is a sitting on the floor kind of episode because it's that kind of day. Let me give you a little bit of a debrief on what's been going on in my mind, in my brain, in my life, and with the show. First of all, this isn't necessarily about poo, but we start off every episode talking about poo talk, and I hate when I am overwhelmed or I'm not feeling mentally the best. My stomach hurts. It's been one of the biggest telltale signs that I'm feeling anxious, that I'm feeling off, that I haven't eaten enough, or something's just not right with me. Is through my whole life, it's been my stomach. I always had stomach aches growing up. My mom was always like, I don't know what to do with you. And I started to realize as I got older that half the time it was because I was hungry and I was literally the pickiest eater as a kid. And so I didn't eat things that actually would nourish my body and keep me full. So one, that's my fault. I just posted on Instagram very recently saying I think I'm officially diagnosing myself as no longer a picky eater because listen, I've been dating an Indian man for 2 years now and he makes amazing food. His family cooks amazing food. And so my spice tolerance has gone the fuck up. So I'm really happy about that. But the other reason I started to realize why my stomach would hurt, it was either I was hungry or I was anxious, overstimulated, or overwhelmed. And I started to find out as I got older and started to try and listen to my body more that I needed to lie the fuck down and go have some me time, even if it was just for 20 minutes. I remember having a bunch of family up at my cottage. There was just a lot going on. It's a lot of social time. It's a lot of time with other people. And I don't like the whole introvert extrovert thing. I don't know what the fuck I am, but I need alone time in order to function well and just be okay. And so I started to realize if I would go inside and lie down by myself for 20 minutes, my stomach would literally stop hurting. And I was like, what the fuck? And it's because when you're constantly being stimulated or your brain is on overdrive or you're stressed, it is just needing and screaming at you to slow down and chill out and just spend some time with yourself in some quiet and just kind of reset. And that really relates to this episode because I'm in a state right now where I'm feeling overwhelmed, and I worked out today with a new friend, which was really fucking fun, and I feel like I have such a better grasp on lifting weights after that. And I was in a bad mood before, but then leaving I was like, Jess, you're stressed about such good things. Sometimes when we're stressed, it's really important to have a perspective shift of what are we stressing about, and is it something we actually want to be stressing about? Because when we stress about other people's opinions of us, or I don't know, what else do we stress about in this world? Not having enough time for things, being in a rush, all this stuff, it's important to sit back and be what am I actually stressing about, and is it aligned with who I am in the life I'm trying to live? Because when we stress about stuff that doesn't actually matter, that's fucking annoying. And that's when I try and be move the fuck on, Jessica. But this is I realized after my workout, I'm stressing about stuff that means so fucking much to me, and I care so much about Human to Human and the brand I'm creating and the podcast episodes I'm putting out there and the way I promote it. And I realized a couple days ago that this is my dream. This is my number one freaking dream. And that adds this different layer of pressure. If you are working on something that's really fucking important to you, once you acknowledge how fucking important it is, it's so much scarier because it's oh shit, this might make or break my life. But that is such an extreme way to go about it. And that's why I just wanted to sit down and talk, because I have recorded a very exciting episode. I'm really looking forward to putting out because it's a part of my life that I've never shown on Human to Human. And I've been all confused and really struggling in my brain because I'm like, what do I share? What do I hide? What do I like keep as a surprise? We're gonna lay it all out on the fucking table today, guys. Okay, enough of this fucking hiding shit. It's causing me stress. So this is my way to solve my overwhelm. So if you're listening to this and you listen because the title was Listen When You're Overwhelmed, let's think through a way. I'm saying let's like we're on a literal coaching call because that's what I say when I'm doing coaching calls is I'm like, let's figure this out. This is a we thing. Unfortunately, a podcast is one-sided. If you want to chat at humantohumanpod, reach out on Instagram and TikTok. That's why I said at humantohumanpod. That's my username. But let's think about why and let's think about how we can solve it. Because I'm sitting here stressing my fucking titties off when at the end of the day I can just sit on my goddamn floor and be like, hey guys, this is what the fuck is going on, and I'm so goddamn excited about it. So let me just tell you about all of it. And I'm recording on a Friday. I'm hopefully putting this out on a Monday, and I kind of thought to myself, like, do I just need to take a break from posting for a week and just like give myself time to catch up? But I know if I do a short episode right now, I can edit it and get that bitch up on Monday. So this is what's going the fuck on. Human to Human, very important to me. We've covered that shit. Okay, Jess, on to the next topic. I am changing my cover art, which I'm really fucking excited about. I have been dying to change it. I've changed my cover art so many goddamn times. Okay, I have been doing this podcast since July of 2026 of 2020. So it'll be almost 3 years. It's 3 years in July. And I've changed my cover art 4 times. And so I'm really scared to like change it again. But I have worked with a designer last year, January of 2022. Oh my God, it's so hard to remember what year it is. And she did a phenomenal job. She's a part of at Brand's Media Group. Her name's Sharon Brand. Can you believe her last name is Brand? Brand's Media. She's the best. And I'm obsessed with my font. I'm obsessed with the color. I'm obsessed with the vibe. But there is something missing to me, and that is my goddamn face. I'm saying goddamn so many times today. Like, relax, girl. I'm just feeling fired up, okay? So it's missing my face because I'm human to human. Jess is human to human. Yes, I have guests on. My solos are my favorite things, and like my favorite episodes to record and edit and put out, and they're my most popular episodes too, which is really fucking cool. I love that, you know, I've had people, listeners and friends say that they feel like they're having a conversation with me. It's just one-sided. I just ramble on and you just don't have to say anything. So kisses, love ya. Hope you're enjoying this. Did you hear that noise? That was a water break. So I wanted to add my face, and this is something I've been trying to figure out the style of how I wanted to do it, because I wanted to kind of keep the font, keep the logo, keep the colors, all that stuff. So I did it. I made it, and I'm obsessed with it, and I posted on my Instagram a couple days ago. You might remember. I was like sitting in my kitchen, and I was like, because I feel like I finally figured it out. I feel like I finally made progress. And when I made this cover art, and I think I'm deciding right now, right here, this cover art's going to come the day this episode goes out, because it's like, why would I talk about the cover art this long and you literally not be able to see it? This cover art, I felt just this instinct feeling in my bones that like, oh my God, this is it. When I edited, I hate saying edited. When I edited it, I just felt inside of me like, oh, this is right. This is, I think, what it's meant to be. And then I started playing around with the photos more and started to question myself. And it's kind of funny because this bitch is on a budget over here. I just graduated my undergrad degree and this is my job and I'm not making money off of it. So please leave a review and subscribe. If you, please, I am a bitch on a budget right now and I'm trying to make this dream of mine come true. So if you love this, show some love on a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen. A written review on Apple, the most appreciated. Okay, moving the fuck on. So I was playing around with these photos I already had done that I paid for like, I think a year and a half ago. And the logo and stuff I already have. So I'm like, I already have these incredible assets, if you will. let's try and put it together. And then boom, chicka boom, boom, boom. Here we are. We put it together and I'm so fucking excited about it. And so I've been like unsure of like when to launch that, how to do it. I really wanted to make an email list so I can announce it on my email list first so you get the first sneak peek. Future Jess is going to deal with that. Current Jess is just having a therapy sesh with you and me right here. And so, yeah, that's the cover art. I love it. I'm excited about it. I am such a water girl. So it's like the sky and the water is in the background of my face and my body. And I need to be submerged in water to solve my problems. So in this episode, I do want to give a few little tippity-doos on how to feel better when you're overwhelmed. And let's start with number one. I think number one, submerge yourself in some water. I don't know if you and I are the same, sister, but I need to be somehow in water to like reset. This is making me feel like I need to go have a shower after this. But I just had one. But see, this is the thing that happens in my brain. I start to get in my own way and go like, but your hair is going to be wet, but you just had a shower, but you're going to have to squeegee the shower after. When at the end of the day, if I'm going to feel better, go have a shower or jump in okay, if I could jump in a lake every day, I think my stress levels will be lower. I think I would just like love life even more. And my boyfriend is the one who's really, really helped me realize this. I've always like consciously known I love the water, blah, blah, blah. But he's like, you're a different fucking person when you get out of the water. He likes to describe, this is how he describes me when I'm hangry or when I'm stressed. I swear to God, I wish I was joking. I'm not. I don't wish I'm joking. I love him. I love the impression. And so he's like, the difference between you before and after water, the first point A is and I'm like angry and I'm bitchy and I'm just like a fucking disaster. He's like, you're just like full of tension. Your whole body is just like riddling with tension. If this episode does nothing else but make you laugh, I've done my job today. And then he's like, when you get out of the water, I'm like a happy little cupcake. I'm just like a little kid and I have my like hair all wet behind my face. I have to submerge. The head has to get wet. I can't just go in water and my body get wet. No. Hair, face, body. Isn't that a song? That all has to get wet. So if you are struggling with some stress, put yourself in water, especially if it's cold. Okay, sometimes it's good when it's cold. Sometimes I don't like when it's cold. I've been taking cold showers every morning, and sometimes it gets the adrenaline pumping like to the next level, which is like, it's a little bit much, but it still helps definitely get like the cortisol and the stress hormones that are all really high when you wake up in the morning. It helps calm them down. So to wrap up that whole little cover art conversation, I'm obsessed with water. I did photography in high school, and every piece of fucking art I made was somehow related to the sky and water. It was like images of like me in the sky or like me near the water. And I know it's weird. It's like, shouldn't I be taking the photo because it's my photography work? No, bitch. Being a photographer doesn't mean you have to click the fucking button. This is something I learned in high school. We are very conceptual with our art. And so a cool thing that I really focused on was like, it was my vision and I'm the one who like, I wanted to be in the vision. Like I am the vision. Okay, I'm being so dramatic. But that was where all my art came from, was this feeling of like calm and peacefulness and just relaxation when I'm in nature, and specifically when I'm on the water. I have many big dreams, but one of my biggest dreams is to live on the water. I want to live on a lake or an ocean, preferably somewhere I can swim in, because Lake Ontario is a little sketchy. That's where I'm living, Toronto, Lake Ontario. And yeah, going back to that moment, I just had a thought pattern about, am I losing it? ADHD girl right here. When you figure out what your dreams are, like I was saying at the beginning, it's so much scarier. Life becomes so much scarier. And also when you don't know your dreams, life is really fucking scary too, because you're like, I'm aimlessly floating through the world trying to find my destination or where I'm leading towards. But like, life ain't a destination, bitch. It's a daily process. And it's a journey. And I saw a thing on Instagram the other day that said like, why are you rushing? Like when you rush, you don't enjoy any part of your life. And what's the point of rushing through life? And when I'm feeling stressed and overwhelmed, it's definitely because I'm rushing. And that's totally on par with my stress today. Was like I was trying to rush to get an episode out. I was trying to rush to get out my next exciting announcement, which is an episode with my boyfriend. And I've never released an episode with my boyfriend. And on Instagram a few months ago, I said I will not be releasing episodes with my boyfriend ever. And that's because, one, he's my freaking homie G, who I'm kind of like, I don't know, protective of, I guess, or just like him and I tried to record episodes many times together, and we just like put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and it just didn't flow well, and like it just wasn't natural, and we didn't feel like our most authentic selves. And sometimes we tried to record when we were high, and I said in the episode, which I kind of cut this out, but in the episode that's going to come out soon, I was like, I can't be professional Jess when I'm baked. I just like need to be on my A fucking game when I'm doing interviews. And like, even though it's my boyfriend, it's still an interview per se, but we talk about reality TV. And I also, this contributed to all my stress and overwhelm, I posted on my Instagram saying like, I made an episode about reality TV, me talking about it. Which do you want to hear first, a life update or a reality TV thing? And I was like, fuck, that makes it sound like I made this episode where I was like talking about just the drama of reality TV, which this episode is seriously not. This episode, Josh and I talk on, and I can just say Josh now because you're going to literally hear Josh's voice. But this episode Josh and I did, it's like, we're like critiquing reality TV, and we're talking about the negative parts of reality TV and how like it's made me compare my body to reality TV stars and how negative that spiral is, and like what's important, and like why we feel like shit after watching reality TV, but like also we watch it all the time. So it's like we're sitting there criticizing it, but at the same time we're viewing it. So this is a weird whole mind warp. And like we talk about Vanderpump Rules, we talk about Selling Sunset, we talk about Love is Blind, and we give like, if you never even watch those, it doesn't even matter, because we're more talking about like the premise of why reality TV and like the reason why reality TV is so big, and us kind of being like, the fuck? And we talk about cancel culture, and we talk about our own lives too. Like Josh shares a lot about his life and his experiences and what it was like when he lived in India for a period of time when he was a kid. And like, it's a really cool inside look if you've been listening for a while and you've kind of like heard about how our relationship has evolved and stuff, and like we met because of Human to Human. It's just like a really cool way to like be like, damn, that's this guy that Jess talks about all the time. And so then like that adds an extra pressure, and I got overwhelmed because of that. And so now we're just putting it all on the table. And let's bring it back to the topic of this episode again. If you're overwhelmed because you're not telling someone something, or shame festers in secrecy. It really, really does. When we keep things hidden and we're not proud of those things we're keeping private to ourselves, there can be a lot of shame that like stews around it. So like if there's an experience you've had that's been really negative and you've never told anybody, or you don't want to talk about, or like you're struggling with people in your life but you're not sharing about it, that's going to cause some like inner anxiety. And I really do recommend seeking therapy or a coach. Like I like to say, I create a very safe, non-judgmental space in my coaching calls. And I really encourage crying and laughing and word vomiting and just venting about your life, because for me, if you can't tell, I have an actual podcast where I rant about life, and I need to verbally process things. So whether that means turning to someone you trust, turning to like a loved one, whether it's a significant other or a friend or a parent figure or a grandparent or the wall or the mirror, sometimes just talking things out just alone really, really helps just like get some clarity on like all the drama that's going on in your brain. It's so important. And that is like probably number 2 most important thing I need. Maybe number 1. I need to 1, submerge in water, and then 2, talk it out, or 1, talk it out, and then 2, submerge in water to deal with my life when I'm overwhelmed. I'd say number 3, when you're feeling really stressed and overwhelmed, is do something that's going to help you have a perspective shift. And that means physically getting out of the environment you've been in for a while. So step the fuck away from your computer, and especially away from social media, because that's just going to create more anxiety, more tension, more confusion. And it's so weird because that's what we turn to. We like immediately grab our phones to like scroll and like just try and ignore our stress and our pain and our issues. And that's like contributing to the problem, because all that stress stays stored inside our bodies and we just ignore everything instead of processing our emotions. Our emotions are meant to be processed, and like the stress cycle is meant to be completed so that it's like we can move on from it. That's why we need to work out. Another tip here is like work out, move your body, sweat it the fuck out, and get in nature too. When we have perspective shifts and just change our physical location, change our physiology of our body, or change our emotional state, like venting to someone, we are able to gain more clarity on our situation, or you're able to just like immerse yourself in something else and forget about the drama for a little while. And I hate to break it to you, babe, but like this shit ain't easy. And it's like, it sounds fucking simple, but it's hard to take care of yourself that well. But once you identify what you need, stop what you're doing and go do it. If you can, if you have that luxury. That's why I love Opal, and I wish this was going into a sponsorship from Opal, because that just sounded like a perfect segue. But I'm not sponsored by them, but I'm just going to tell you about them anyway. It's an incredible app that blocks your social media usage. I mean, it can block anything on your phone. I use it strategically to block my social media use, so I can't touch my social media to either 10 or 11 in the morning, depending on what I set it to, and I can't touch social media from 9 p.m. onward. Those are pre-scheduled time zone aways moments that I have set, so I just like already have boundaries on social media. And then you can start a time block where it's like an hour, 2 hours, whatever you want, where you can either not touch it and then take breaks and go back on, or you can't touch it at all, and that's called like a deep focus. And this app has changed my fucking life. Homeboy Josh got me on it. So make sure you go listen to the episode when it's out, hopefully next week, we'll see, with Josh, because that guy has so many tips and just inspirational things that he says to me. I don't know if he's that inspirational on this episode. I mean, I hope, I don't know, I have to listen to it again. But there's just so many ways to set yourself up for success, and it takes your logical brain showing up for you to set things in place. So when you can't think logically, or you don't have any more willpower, you're like, past me took care of this. Thank you. I love you, past me. So I think the last tip I want to give is try and just have some fucking fun. Get a little goofy, get a little silly, get a little weird. I'm wearing a bathing suit right now. My titties might be out a little bit. I'm wearing a one-piece bathing suit. It's 6 p.m. on a Friday. It's like 30 degrees out, but I'm sitting in my basement. I'm a little chilly right now. But why, you may ask, am I wearing a bathing suit? Because it's fun. Because normal clothes are boring sometimes. Because I got out of the shower after my workout today, and I was like, I can't make a decision on what to wear right now. I don't know what I want to wear. And then I was like, bathing suits always make me feel good. I'm going to put on a bathing suit. It's my life. Who gives a fuck? So, like, if you're having a moment, you don't know what to do, and there's a certain piece of clothes that you feel fucking amazing in, put it on. Who cares if it's, like, your prom dress that doesn't fit you anymore? Hopefully it makes you feel good still. If it doesn't fit you anymore, it might not make you feel good. But, like, put on something weird and random. PJs, a sexy bralette, a thong. Sometimes they hurt my butthole, so I don't want to wear them. I wear them on very specific occasions, if I want to feel like a baddie or if I want to get freaky. Anyway, sorry, Mom, if you're listening to this. Well, you probably do it too, so okay, wow, we're getting weird. We got to move on from that topic. But just like stop taking yourself so seriously and just giggle. If you have someone to just like giggle with, go giggle with them. My boyfriend and I started going to, I posted on Instagram, you guys probably know this, but if you don't, I started going to, was that conceited that I said that? I just keep referring to my Instagram because I'm really active on there. humantohumanpod, follow it. But I started going to a community center gym with my boyfriend, and it's literally changed the way I work out, and it's been so fucking fun. The actual exercises, no, they're not fun. They hurt my legs, they hurt my arms, they hurt the things that I'm working out. Not in like a pain bad way, but in a like, ow, this is hard way. But my boyfriend and I giggle so fucking hard. This is why I love going to a gym that's not a good life, because him and I, there's just like random people around, like it's like older people and then like preteen boys, or like boys who are going through puberty. So it's like, I don't care about what either of those crowds think of me, and they feel safe to me. Okay, preteen boys don't feel that safe, but like in terms of like threat wise, I'm fine. And so him and I, literally, there was 2 machines that faced each other that worked like your chest. I think I was working my chest, like pushing outwards, and then he worked his chest. Nope, he was working his shoulders. Nope, I don't know what the fuck he was working. Clearly, I'm not that experienced with lifting. But we were like, let's try and do like 12 reps and not laugh and stare at each other. And we have to stare at each other. And we were like giggling as we were trying to do this. And we couldn't do it. We could not get through 12 reps without giggling. And it was so fucking funny. And we had so much fun. And we were just being such goofballs. And I thought to myself for a moment, like, this is what we need in life. We just need a good frickin' laugh. And that's why I started Poo Talk, because life is hard and we go through a lot of shitty things in this world, and we all take shits. So why not just talk about it at the beginning of every episode and have a little laugh about the weirdness of being human? We're all messy. We're all imperfect. Let's talk about our shit. Sometimes when I'm recording, I can literally hear good snippets to take out on Instagram. And sometimes I usually hate editing, but those moments I'm like, I do have an editor's brain. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it gave you a few good tips on how to relieve yourself from all the overwhelm, because it is a choice. We can control it. Sometimes there are circumstances that are just going to stress us out no matter what, things that are out of our control. But at the end of the day, we can control how we respond to it. We can control how to relieve ourselves of the stress and overwhelm. My personal tips that I covered in this episode included submerging yourself in water, venting to someone you know, love, and trust, or a professional. What was number 3? I don't know. I don't really remember. The third one, or the fourth, or the fifth was being goofy. You listened to the whole episode. You should remember what I said. Or if you don't, that's okay. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe, go to the show notes, and join my email list so you are notified when my Josh episode comes out, which I'm very excited about that. And if you join my email list, you'll be the first to know about any exciting human things that are happening. Take care of yourselves. I don't know where I was going with that, but that worked. Take care of yourselves. Follow on Instagram and TikTok at humantohumanpod. And if you enjoy this, please leave a review and send it to a friend, because it really makes all the fucking difference. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and release all that stress from your body. Shake it out, shake it out. Oh, I don't want my nipple to fall out. Shake it out. Shake it off, shake it off.